Hello and welcome. This is Al Sumnus here with SS Multimedia. Today we're going to be talking about special quadrilaterals. Alright guys, let's talk about our objective. So our objective is basically attributes of quadrilaterals, but we are going to go a little deeper. Wait. That's our objective. You'd be right, yes, that is our objective, but we're not going to underline anything in today's objective, okay? So, in our previous lesson, attributes of quadrilaterals, we talked about quadrilaterals, okay? And now I know you're probably thinking, okay, what more can we possibly do with quadrilaterals? A lot of things. There's a lot more to quadrilaterals than four sides. Right? I know we covered some, but today we're going to go a little deeper, okay? But with that being said, we're going to have like a similar objective to our attributes of quadrilaterals, which is this. Okay, understanding how to classify the attributes of quadrilaterals, right? So objective is going to be kind of like this. Same thing, we're going to go a little deeper. Okay, so since there really wasn't much to explain because you've already done it, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start off with a quick review because it's been a while, right? It's been a while since we did this. Just kidding, it's been a day. But let's see. Let's do a quick review. Okay, and we're going to go a little deeper as we do this. So trapezoid. This is how a trapezoid would look like. Special features. It has two pairs of parallel sides and two pairs that are not. Well, no, one pair of parallel sides, that is not. So that's one distinguishing feature. So this could be a trapezoid, because only one pair of parallel sides. So that's a distinguishing feature of a trapezoid. Next, we have this thing. It's a square. Okay, most distinguishing feature when you first see it. 4 equal sides. Okay, that might look confusing, but I'm just going to box it. Okay, 4 equal sides. And that's like the most distinguishing feature. It has 4 right angles, right? All that good stuff. Next, we have rhombus. Sort of similar to a square. You might notice that these are slanted. So, the only difference between a rhombus and a square is it's not right angles. If you look here, it's not a right angle. Right? Let's see if I can erase that without erasing everything. What do you know? I erased everything. Let's leave it like that. So now let's see. The distinguishing feature still has 4 equal sides. So that's pretty cool. And it's also a parallelogram, like a square. Both sides are parallel, all that good stuff. Right. Next, we have a rectangle. This one is also kind of like a square. Again, only difference. This one has right angles. Only difference, does not have the 4 equal sides. It does not have. So that's the distinguishing feature. And then parallelogram. Any shape or figure any polygon that has 2 pairs of parallel sides. So this. Oh, okay, no, bad example. So this parallelogram, this parallelogram, this parallelogram. You might have seen those, but this. Let's see if I can get it right. Hopefully, I get it right. Yeah, that would be a parallelogram, but notice it's not a rhombus. Why? A rhombus has 4 equal sides. These sides are most definitely not equal. This is this side, this one is that side, so not equal. Those are not equal. That's a parallelogram. So the distinguishing feature, and its only feature, is that it's a polygon with 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now we're going to go just a little deeper into this. Not too much deeper, just a little deeper when it comes to the quadrilaterals in general. Let's say we have a square. want you to find out the angle of this, right? So you know that it's a 90-degree angle, right? Obviously, because it's a right angle. And there's 4 of those. When you add them all up, not 90, if you multiply, right? 4, you get 360, right? Now, if you were to do that with any, and when I say any, I mean any quadrilateral. So, if I were to find the angles of this, if say, okay, I'm just gonna take a guess here, okay? This probably might not be right, maybe, but say this one is 70, okay? That means that the opposite end is also 70, right? Obviously. Now, I want you to find the angles for those two. How do you do that? Step 1, right? It should be kind of simple because you just do 70 plus 70 equals 140. And then you do, because the total is 360, so you subtract, right? 220 degrees is remaining. So you divide that by 2 because there's 2 angles left. Okay, that's not how you do it. 222, there. Let me scroll down a bit here. 2 goes into 2 once. 0, right? It's kind of, no, I say kind of, I mean, it is really simple. Right, so our answer here is 0, right? So it's 110 degrees for each end, right? So 110 degrees on each end. So that's a fun fact right there, that any, and when I say any, I mean any quadrilateral, I'm just going to write a dot there, any quadrilateral, all angles add up to 360 degrees. So that's a fun fact, and it can be useful when answering angle questions. Pretty cool fact about that. That's actually a pretty cool fact about quadrilaterals. Okay? Now, let's take our focus away from both of these. So now what we're going to focus on the remainder of this lesson will be those 3 shapes. Okay? Now we covered one of these is a square rectangle in 4th grade, but we're going to go ahead and review why. Okay? So square versus a rectangle. Okay? I'm doing one of each here. Square, and that is a very bad square. Better. And then we have a rectangle. So we all know that I'm not the best at this, so I just assume those are all 4 equal sides. Right? If you were to list all the attributes a square has, a rectangle has, right? So let's just go off the top of our head, right? 4 right angles, right? 4 right angles. Does this have it? Yep, sure does. 2 pairs of parallel sides, right? These are parallel. These are parallel. Okay? Well, these are parallel. These are parallel. So, those are 2 of them. Next, it's a quadrilateral. This is 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is definitely a quadrilateral, right? It's polygon, obviously. If it wasn't polygon, it wouldn't be a quadrilateral. And let's see. Another distinguishing features of a square, right, that a rectangle does not have. 4 equal sides, right? One thing a square has, but a rectangle does not have, is 4 equal sides. So, I know what you're thinking. You ruined my theory. My theory is gone. And it's not my theory, it's a theory I'm teaching you, but it's wrong. You're wrong. You are not fit to teach this class, right? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. That's a discussion for later, but I am not wrong. Haha. this has 4 equal sides, but this doesn't, right? So that'll make it that. But no. Here's the answer to this question. So it's hard to explain, but according to this, a square is, box that word, is a rectangle. Boom. Mind's blown. Right? So here's why this square is a rectangle. Okay? Because this rectangle, this square has all the features of a rectangle. Okay, what feature does a rectangle have that square does not have? Parallelogram, yep. Quadrilateral, yep. 4 right angles, yep. Okay, but one thing we notice has 4 equal sides. So this means a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle, sorry, whoopsie daisy. A rectangle is not a square. Pretty cool. So is not, I'm going to box that here. Why? Because a rectangle does not have all the features of a square, but a square has all the features of a rectangle. So that's kind of confusing, but if you were to rewatch this video hundreds of times, you might get it. I'm kidding. You should be able to watch it only 1 or 2 times, and you'll get what I mean. So this square has all of the attributes of a rectangle. So this square is a rectangle, but if we try to convert this into a square, it can't be done. Okay, because it doesn't have 4 equal sides, so not possible. So that's for rectangle. So this might not be as a mind-blowing experience because, well, we covered this in 4th grade. But did we cover this? Is a square a rhombus? Or is a rhombus a square? Interesting theory. Let's check it out. So we have our square. Again, not the best, but let's go with it. And then we have our rhombus. Again, does this rhombus have any features that a square doesn't have? Let's see. Parallelogram. Parallelogram. Yep. This one has 2 pairs of parallel sides. It's a parallelogram. Okay, you got me there, but let's see. 4 equal sides. Yep, buddy. Looks like I have 4 equal sides. Okay, so obviously wasn't the best of outlining, but again, there. 4 equal sides. This one also has 4 equal sides. Any other distinguishing features of a rhombus that might set it apart? Quadrilateral? Yep, definitely a quadrilateral. Polygon? Has to be. If it's a quadrilateral, it has to be a polygon. So, this square has every feature a rectangle has. So, let's see. A square is a rhombus. There you go. Is a rhombus. Okay, now, is a rhombus a square? Because we know that in the previous video, this square is a rhombus, but this rectangle wasn't a square, so let's check. Well, does this square have any features? I mean, any features that a rectangle, that a rhombus does not have? Let's check. What are other features? Oh, 4 right angles. Nope. Obtuse, Q, all that stuff. Nope. So, for the first one, it was 4 equal sides. For this one, it is 4 90-degree angles. 90-degree angle is a right angle, in case you're wondering. So yeah, that is kind of cool. So, a rhombus is not a square. box that is not. And let's draw an arrow here just to cross it out for the fun of it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to problem time because I've been talking long enough. So we have all these questions here. I want you to name all of these quadrilaterals because if you remember, this is also a review lesson. Just the basic name. So if you see this rectangle, don't just call it a parallelogram as well. Just call it a rectangle. So I'm giving you that first answer. Okay. That way you know how to answer. So this one would be a rectangle. I'm not going to call it anything else. Okay? There you go. Now here's our questions. Is a square a rectangle? Is a rectangle a square? Is a square a rhombus? Is a rhombus a square? And then all these questions. So I want you to pause the video and give it a go. And I'm going to scroll around in the meantime so you can see all the questions. Alright, so let's check your answers. I'm assuming you paused it. Now we're going to check them. Let's see, I'm going to use blue here. Is a square a rectangle? Yes. Square is a rectangle. Is a rectangle a square? No. So, is a square a rectangle? Yes. So, box this one in blue. In red, I'm going to box is a rectangle a square? And I'm going to say no. So again, is a square a rhombus? Now, this is our second question. Is a square a rhombus? Okay, that was a very bad box, but let's go with it. Is a rhombus a square? Again, very bad, but let's go with it. Yes. Remember, because it has all the attributes of a rhombus, but a rhombus does not have all the attributes of a square, so sadly, no, a rhombus is not a square. I don't know why I said sadly, but yeah, okay. Next, we have all this stuff, all that good stuff. So, start off, we have this thing, okay? Just a basic name, remember, square, okay? Trapezoid. Rhombus. And parallelogram. This last one, well, not the last one, the one I just said, might have been a little harder for some of you. That's okay. You learn. If you did get it right, congratulations. And I'm not congratulating myself on drawing an M, so I'm going to retry that because that was a very bad M. Haha, yeah. Okay, now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to single out these 3 shapes. I want you to write their other names, okay? Not parallelogram, but I want you to write if they're a square, if they're a rhombus, or if there's a rectangle, okay? So, I'm going to do the, actually, no, I'm not going to do it. You do it. Okay, so pause the video, give it a go again. Okay, since there's no scrolling to do, I'm just going to dive right into it. A square is a rhombus, is a rectangle. A rhombus is a square, and a rectangle is a square. Now we could go even deeper and call all of these, not all of them. Trapezoid would not be called a parallelogram, but these 3 again, a parallelogram. Call them all quadrilaterals. Call them all polygons. All that stuff, but we're not going to do that because that's a little bit too much, even though, because we already know that. This is the quiz part. So I'm going to scroll through once to make sure you got all the answers. And there you go. So I'm hoping that after this video, you have a better knowledge about quadrilaterals in general, and that you learned something during this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. See you in the next one.